How do you calm your nerves before a date with the girl you really like? You know, me and my friend were just talking about this. She was going on a first date and was so nervous she was thinking of canceling last minute. I was asking her, do you think guys are as nervous as girls on first dates? For some reason, we never think that the other person is just as nervous as we are. Just trust that if she's not into you, then you probably dodged the bullet anyway. Good relationships are about compatibility, not a one-sided crush. If you're compatible, it'll work out fine. This advice needs to be up votes. People need to know that if someone doesn't like you, it's fine. You don't have to be the only one putting efforts to change their mind. Relationships need compatibility. Absolutely this. It's okay for you not to be compatible, and why would you want to date someone you're not compatible with? That's when you move on and find the right person. Same with jobs and interviews really. If they don't pick me, it's because I wasn't compatible with the job for some reason that only they know. And I don't want to do a job I don't fit in. Absolutely, no matter how much you like or want them. It just simply isn't meant to be, and never would. If it's not reciprocated, it's all a fictitious scenario at that point, created by your ego. Go with the flow, and if you both get on, great, see what happens. Your job isn't to be interesting to her, but to be interested in her. Her job is the reverse. If both of you show a genuine interest in each other, in the person, not merely the appearance, then you'll avoid much of the posturing and self-aggrandizement that may otherwise make you feel they don't like you but merely who you presented as. When you shift your focus from trying to impress to trying to be impressed, there's a lot less stress. Wake up early. Work out, and just remember she is just as nervous, and that it's all about having fun, so just relax and realize this is something to look forward to. Try to have fun is pretty sound advice. Remember to be nice and ask her a lot of questions about herself, and most importantly listen. I try to ask people out before I crush out too hard. Honestly, I try to reach that really nice stage when the interest is already established as mutual. If I am really excited for a date, I try to remind myself that I don't know them very well and things aren't likely to go as great as I imagined they could go. Often, I need to manage my expectations before I can actually see where something could go. Personally, I like to prepare myself for the possibility of a bad date. I know it sounds pessimistic, but just hear me out. You gain a lot of confidence when you know that regardless of the situation, it will not affect you. Your mentality should be whatever happens tonight, I am perfectly okay with, rather than I will be sad if this doesn't work out. Jump up and down, take a crap and have a pee. Blow your nose and check for boogers. Make sure you smell good and are clean. Brush your teeth, clean your glasses, make sure your hair is neat. Then watch hilarious cat memes while you wait, so you already have a happy smile and have been laughing, so you'll be more at ease already. Could have used this myself yesterday. I have nothing to say about the nerves beforehand, but I have to say that in the end it doesn't matter. As soon as you see her, everything just goes away. I know it sounds cliché, but I was really nervous, and as soon as I saw her and said hello, all my nerves went away and we had a fun time. I know it's difficult, but stop thinking about it. Imagine you're meeting some friends. I just had to talk my roommate down off the ledge after his first date in a few years. Don't view it as a date. You're just meeting a new friend to hang out. Don't try to make everything perfect, and don't expect that it will be perfect. You probably won't fall in love, or even have sex tonight. Don't let your mind go there. It will only serve to make you more nervous by putting too much pressure on yourself and your date. If something goes sideways, handle it exactly how you would if you were with your oldest friend. A mental trick that works for me. Just remember, she got up with bad breath and frizzy hair, just like you did. She probably had to take a massive shit before going to work, just like you did. I get this mental picture of that hot person heading to the bathroom in the morning looking and feeling like hell, holding their hand to their mouth, sniffing, and going, before hitting a bottle of mouthwash, then sitting down on the toilet to do the same thing we all do, complete with horrific fart sounds that sound like a broken trumpet. She's cradling her head in her hands thinking, I feel horrible, Satan is trying to claw his way out of my ass. When you visualize that hot person acting exactly like everyone else does in very basic situations, because believe me, they do, it makes them less intimidating. Lol. I was a dumb 21-year-old about to take out a successful, ridiculously sexy, 30-year-old nurse. Try those nerves on. I did what I could. Next time I saw her, she gave me some sexy eyes. After the date, consisting of watching a season of Family Guy with her, I knew I had to kiss her to not end up getting friend-zoned like what had always happened to me. No idea where it came from, but I said, would it be totally inappropriate if I wanted to kiss you right now? She let out the biggest smile. I went in for it, closed my eyes, literally saw fireworks. Kiss must have been good. The next time I saw her, she gave me a key to her place. Married the hell out of her. We've been together for like 15 years. She's still perfect and insanely hot. Picture going to a bakery, you see a fabulous looking cake. The icing is perfect and it smells amazing. You get it home, cut a huge piece and take a big bite. Rather than the luscious cake you were expecting and excited for, you get a flavorless, gritty mess with greasy icing that coats the top of your mouth and you can't rub it off. Attraction is like that. You are lured in by the look of the cake. Dating is cautiously dipping the tiniest point of the fork in that cake before you decide if it's worth having. Unless you like what is under the surface, it's not for you. Dating is nothing to stress over. You are just gathering information. Stretching and deep breathing can calm nerves. Also make sure you feel good about yourself. Good hygiene. Shower before. Floss. I can always tell when someone doesn't floss. And brush teeth. Mouthwash. If you use cologne, go very light with it. Know that you deserve a nice girl. Be proud and confident of who you are. If you enjoyed the date, text her an hour or so after you get home letting her know you had a nice time. If you hadn't already set up a second date, wait a couple days to let the first one sink and then ask. Mentally, remind yourself that she said yes because she already is interested in you and wants to see where it goes. In a way, it's just like going in for a job interview in the sense that you were asked to go because they already think you're a viable candidate. Aside from that, it isn't and should feel like a job interview. Physically, take a good hot shower or have yourself a soak. Then again, that's pretty much how I process all my nerves/stress/anxiety lol. Gonna be honest with you, this only happened to me with the first girl I'd ever asked out since she was the one. I asked her out in my mid-20s and she agreed. She was really excited. But I simply couldn't get my nerves in check. I was not being myself, I was overthinking everything. I just kept asking questions. I wasn't able to form an emotional connection whatsoever because I didn't know how, etc. The first date didn't go well, but I could tell she was so disappointed that she wanted to give me a second shot. So we went on a second date and I completely fell apart. I was a mess of nerves. She was visibly super upset, which only made it worse for me. She dumped me after. I can honestly say that rejection and failure changed my life for the better. It gave me a drive and motivation to never get caught up like that again. I've dated hundreds of girls since and every time, I'm a hero. Of course, there are plenty you just won't click with and that's fine. So, even if you fail and let the nerves get to you, I can guarantee that you will look back on this moment and be thankful for the learning experience that it served to be. No matter what, it's a connection to a new person with new ideas, perspectives, interests, and knowledge on completely different things than you. Get excited about all of the knowledge you can soak up from someone new. It doesn't matter if they are a CEO of a company or the janitor. They will have ideas and opinions that will challenge your ideas and basis of existence. I'm more introverted than extroverted, so I lean into this concept hard when preparing for a date and love to ask questions that make my date think and respond from their base mentality and personality. A little bit of nervousness is normal, and a lot of people find it endearing, but you don't want it to get in the way of having a good time with the other person. You feel excessively nervous when you put too much importance on a date or a person. Think of it more like just going out and seeing if you guys might be a good fit together. You might be, or you might not. That's okay. There's a lot of women out there, so you have lots of chances to find the right person for you. When you accept that and take that attitude in dating, you'll find that first dates become a lot easier and more natural. You can much more easily be yourself when you don't have so much riding on the date's outcome. Be it a date or a job interview, it helps me a lot to remind myself that I'm auditioning the other person too. Sometimes we get so caught up in worrying about what someone else thinks of us that we don't even bother figuring out what we think of them. That reminder helps to level the playing field, and you've got to allow yourself to seem nervous. It's very easy to get caught in that loop where you feel nervous, worry that it's obvious you're nervous, get more nervous. You can really work yourself up that way. Being nervous for a date says I really like you and I hope this goes well. Like, oh, wouldn't it be so shocking and horrible to find out the person that asked you on a date likes you. She said yes to a date and shown up for it. She likes you too. She's probably nervous herself and she's not gonna be put off by your nervousness. Most likely she'll find it sweet and kinda flattering. The nerves will pass a lot quicker if you don't resist them. Sometimes I just like to admit to people right off the bat that I'm nervous, maybe make a little joke about it or something. That really dissipates the tension. It's like you were gonna find me out eventually. So I'm beating you to the chase, but also it's a pretty ballsy move. So once you've done that, you get a rush of confidence and whatever you were nervous about seems a lot easier because you just did something a lot harder than carrying on a conversation with someone or talking about your slides or whatever. What's worked for me? Apologies if it comes off as sexist. Women tend to be attracted to guys who are respected by other guys. While this seems counterintuitive, it's pretty well established that men compete amongst themselves to create hierarchies, which women then select based upon. Again, massive generality, but on a similar level to saying men to choose the most attractive girl. Reductive and a little offensive, but generally true. I think we all know an unattractive guy who is very successful with women. I will pretty much guarantee the guy you are thinking of is well liked and respected by the guys, not just as a funny party guy, but as a solid person who can carry their own weight. The reason that this has helped me, practically speaking, is that I have always felt way more comfortable socially around guys than girls, remembering that doing things that will make me well liked and respected by other men, rather than just trying to impress the girl or agree with everything she says, has been super helpful for me. Again, totally an anecdotal experience YMMV, and of course each woman and man on the planet has their own criteria for developing interest. A long time ago when I was single, I set up a date with a girl on a Sunday afternoon. Most guys will tell you this is a shitty time to book a date, but it was the only time I had free that weekend. The night before, a band I was playing with had a show and there was a girl that always came and would come back to my place and stay the night. The following night another girl I knew was coming over, so Sunday afternoon was the only time I was free. You know what happens when you go into a date after getting late in the morning and knowing you're getting laid that night? You don't give a shit. Not in a bad way though. I just didn't give a shit what she thought about me. I just wanted to have a good time and see where it goes. It went back to my place, and that's the story of my first hat trick. Not telling that story to brag, just because I learned a good trick. If I went into a first date, I acted as if I had something better going on that day and later that night. It totally chills you out. Even if it's your first date and like a year, act as if the outcome doesn't really matter. Just have a good time, be good company. Things might not work out, but at least she won't think you're a weirdo. It's all about your mindset. A lot of the prior comments have suggested working out. It definitely helps. Even though the endorphins released during exercise have a short half-life, the positive mood-enhancing qualities are a huge boon. I would also add that you talk a bit about her interests beforehand and try to find some commonality. This, of course, should be a no-brainer. I got lucky recently and found someone who likes to hike. While I've been hiking in the past, I haven't done so consistently in recent years, but I've started working out again. So, this was a perfect jumping off point. Not only was it something that we both enjoyed, it also consisted of some exercise, allowing the juices to start flowing, so to speak. And we were hiking in an area neither of us were familiar with, so neither of us had to feel any pressure or that one of us had the upper hand. We were both discovering together, doing something together that you both enjoy will create a comfortable space. And if it's physical exertion, you can get into a euphoric state of mind. And, as always, listen to her. I don't care if she's telling you her whole life story. Listen, be respectful, and respond in kind. There's literally no reason to be nervous. She's just a fellow human being with all of the same trappings that come with being human that you have. Every feeling of anxiety, discomfort, shame, embarrassment, guilt, anger, awkwardness, fear, isolation, sadness. She's felt all of those same things that you have at some point. Because we all experience the same set of occasional discomforts that life gives us, you would only feel nervous if you felt like she was above you as a human. And I promise you she's not. Just remember, confidence is not "this is guaranteed to work." Confidence is "if it doesn't work, I'll be okay." When you're told that women are attracted to confidence, a lot of guys interpret that as meaning that women are attracted to guys who are so sure of themselves and their success. But what that really means is that women are attracted to guys who can shrug and smile and say, "Hey, whatever, I'll just hope for better luck next time when things don't go his way." She'll be more attracted to you knowing that you don't feel the fear of rejection. And really, why would you feel that fear in the first place? You've gotten to the part where you're already on a date with her, so clearly you've gotten to a place where you're worth giving the job interview to, so to speak. And if she's going to hire you, it won't be because you seem like you're desperate for this one particular job. It will be because you're the right person. You should already have confidence, because you know that you're capable of getting this date, so there's no reason to fear you wouldn't get another opportunity with someone else if this one doesn't work out. Keep in mind that your goal isn't to impress, but to get to know the person you're spending time with. It's not a talent show where you're trying to get the highest scores possible from the judges to move on to the next round and avoid being kicked out forever. You're just trying something out to see how you like it. If it turns out that it isn't working out for you, then that's fine. Your life goes on and will have more wonderful opportunities to devote your time to. Hopefully you had fun and learned something about yourself. There's also a significant chance of it going great and it being a terrific time, and wouldn't that be awesome? Why do you like her? Focus on that. If she is funny, you look forward to laughing. If she is smart, you look forward to enjoying the conversation. If she is pretty, you look forward to seeing her again. Focus on her and not on you. If you are nervous, most likely it is not because of her but because of you. Maybe you feel you are going to blow it. Maybe you think you will blow it, say something weird, or maybe you just don't think you are worthy. Don't fall into that trap. Just be with her. Look forward to the time you are spending with her and stop worrying about you. You got this. You are going to do excellent. I went on first date recently, and because I was also really nervous about it, I owned up about it to her when we talked the day before it. I'm nervous about tomorrow but really excited and looking forward to it too. She was like, "That's understandable, don't worry, we can be awkward together." Acknowledging it and having her make light of it almost instantly broke the tension I was feeling and helped put me at ease, and we ended up having a great time together. I don't know that is a hard and fast rule to follow, but maybe sharing with her in a breezy way would help put you at ease too. Dates come down to three things: presentation, plan, and conversation. Plan. Become very familiar and in tune with your city and think of things to do outside the box. I like to try new things on first dates because that mutual experience allowed for bonding. Don't do anything cliché or typical. Take as much time as you need to come up with something creative. If it works well, don't be afraid to repeat it in the future. Presentation. Maintain your sense of personality through style, but dress appropriately for the occasion of a date. With many women, note all, it really isn't as much about what you look like as it is how much effort you put into how you look. Try to maintain a moderate weight. Shave a good neckline if you have facial hair. I recommend even ironing your clothes. Conversation. This is where a lot of the nerves come from. We cringe at the thought of awkward silence. This is just a function of general social skills. Try not to let the pressure of a potential future cloud your psyche. You're just having a friendly meet with the stranger to see if you like them, not the other way around. Super important. Come up with original questions. Build your way up to personal, deep stuff. If you're not sure if a question is appropriate, don't avoid it, just surround it with polite words like "let me know if this is too personal." Respect boundaries. People bond by what they tell you, not what you tell them. Don't be afraid to write these questions and topics down and recycle them either. Generally try to be more talkative with other strangers in your day-to-day. If you have these three down, you won't get nervous. I speak from experience. If it's the conversation that is making you nervous, I promise that repetition will give you confidence, and the more confident you are, the more fun you'll have, and that's the point, right? You don't. And don't tell yourself they're nervous too, cause it's not always going to be true. Be confident. They said yes to going out with you. Give her 110% of your attention. Compliment something small about her outfit, like her earrings, necklace, or rings on her fingers. First dates are like a job interview. You are both new to each other. Ask questions and don't be afraid of silence. Silence is only awkward if you make it awkward. Finish chewing before you answer questions and don't expect her to answer you mid-bite. One of my former professors, who I was very close with, taught me some meditating and breathing techniques to lower stress. When I told him I was incredibly nervous about my then upcoming date with a girl, I hadn't been on a date in over 2 years and was feeling incredibly unsure since I was very inexperienced when it came to women. He told me to put on some light, relaxing music, close my eyes, and take slow, deep breaths while thinking about her. Think about the happy things you'd want to come from this date and future dates. He even told me to say her name mentally while meditating. He's super spiritual and believes in something called the power of intention, which, according to him, is when the forces that be do everything in its power to get what you truly want. I was skeptical at first too, but I did it anyways and the date went really well. We've been together almost 5 months now, so that's my advice. Not with girl but with boy. Last time I was on a date was almost 4 years ago when we first met. We walked around the city, talked a bit, and everything was cool. The real nerves begin when we were sitting alone in my room. I suddenly began to shake because I really wanted to kiss him, but I didn't know if he wanted to. Also, I was too stressed out to ask. I think he noticed because he grabbed my hand, looked me into the eyes and kissed me. With the moment of our lips touching, the whole stress went away. I felt relaxed and I got warmer all over my body. We looked at each other, and as I thanked him for kissing me, he leaned over for the next one, and this time I kissed him. It was really sweet of him to help me overcome my stress.